Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All protocol observed. Last year sometime, I read an article about a company that has been awarded a contract of about 20 billion rand to build a mega park in the West Rand. What intrigued me when I was reading this article, I saw Black young people for a 20 billion rand project. And I said to myself, these are my people. For a month, I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about this 20 billion rand project because I was wondering how many jobs are going to be created, how many businesses are going to be supported. And I was seeing faces that were familiar. I was seeing Black young excellence. And I was saying to myself, isn't it great to be alive right now, to see young Black people being involved in billion rands of projects in my lifetime? A month later, I eventually made contact on social media, and I said to Collen, "Hi, Mr. Mashawana. My name is Nthabeleng Likotsi, and I'm this young woman who's starting the first woman-owned bank in the country, and I think we can work together to build our nation." And he responded, we met. And that day when we met, he was with his brother, Mashawana, and his friend, Dr. Nkosi. We had the discussions about how we can change our country. And with so much high unemployment, how we can make a change in working together. And we had a discussion that day, and we had a debate about faith. And Collen said, this journey of entrepreneurship that we walk, that is so tough and sometimes can be so lonely. Faith is believing in things that you cannot see and things that you cannot touch. But faith is walking that journey with peace, knowing that your promises and your discussions with God, when God speaks to you, you know the promises and why you are chosen. Therefore, when you walk that journey of faith, you walk it with peace, regardless of the journey that you are traveling. I left that day thinking, that is why when things are so tough with this bank journey, there's something inside of me that says, Nthabeleng, you have been chosen to work with Black people, to have this bank in our lifetime. And then I think of this journey, Minister Lindwe Zulu, when I was invited to Switzerland by the Department of Small Business when we were the minister then. God had to take me out of the country for me to think and say, wow, Black people can own a bank in my lifetime. What is this cooperative banking that people are talking about that we don't even know about? And then when I came back from Switzerland, I called my business partner, which is Pindile Kumalo, and I said, Sisi, yay man, apparently we can own a bank. And those times as a struggling entrepreneur, you would know this when you've walked the journey. Vodacom used to have night shift. I don't know if they still have it now. I waited after midnight to call her and tell her this news. And I think about this because I look at the Collen Mashawana Foundation and AfriBees. For you, Collen, to have achieved what you guys have achieved, you need to have engine behind you that supports you. Your brother Cecil has been there for you from the beginning, from that day when you left Venda, coming to Joburg with your Sarasara. Your brother has been there. When you've come up with ideas and the people thought they're crazy, Cecil has been there. Pongo, you are the rose amongst the thorns that keeps the calm. When he comes up with these crazy ideas during the pandemic, when people had lost hope, and Collen said, we're still going to build houses for our people to restore their dignity and restore their hope. Austin was there when you lost it all, and you shared that room with him. And you say, when I lost it all, it was a stranger that helped me. That is Collen. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I go back to the day we met, and I said, Collen, with AfriBees and YWBN, let us turn South Africa into a construction site. Why are we going to turn South Africa into a construction site? Because it is time, Ntate Malema, that when you talk about economic transformation, you cannot talk about economic transformation in our lifetime without a black-owned bank. But a black-owned bank that will enable us as black people to finally participate in the economy of our country. We cannot do that if we are not united, because as the majority of the country, that is our currency. We might not have the money because we have been previously disadvantaged. But our power, our currency, our influence, and our impact will happen because we are united. And finally, there will come a time when we say we will put our money where our mouths are. As we do that, as Collen Mashawana Foundation restores dignity and restores hope, I would like to leave this with you today. When God formed us, He knew us before we were even born. He declared to say, my plan is not to destroy, but is to prosper you. As black people, this is our continent. Our blood runs of royalty. We live in a continent of honey and milk. We must claim it. There must come a time when we claim it back. Because we are not Africans because we are born in Africa. We are Africans because Africa is born in us. And our soul is Ubuntu, our currency. Thank you.